So how do you find net new, top of funnel, introduce new people to your company? And I think, you know, a huge missing piece is I'm at a company where I'm responsible for account management and growing accounts. And the way
Hmm.
that those people use LinkedIn, like they will run circles. Someone who executes a LinkedIn strategy or content on existing accounts and upsell accounts, it is 1,000 times easier. So we've been doing some of this training with some of our clients, but love to get your perspective on using it more with existing accounts versus people who may not know you at all.
Yeah. So I think you're spot on in your observation there. And it's again, LinkedIn is just one more medium, relative to phone, email, everything else. So it's just like that. If it's an existing account, you're going to have an easier time connecting with people, getting their engagement, and like actually having what you put out there get noticed. So when I think about this, if you want to break it down to a tactical level, number one, if you're not already, any existing account, anyone you work with there or could work with there, you should be connecting with them. Like if you're not, like that's like 101. You should be connecting with them. And then what you've essentially got, if you are creating good content that is valuable on LinkedIn, you've got a built-in nurture campaign that isn't annoying like the automated emails that come from your marketing team to their email inbox, because it's on their LinkedIn feed. They get to choose if they see it or not. They know it's not you sending it to them directly and saying like, hey, look how great we are. And then from that perspective too, like most people, whether they admit it or not, if they're on LinkedIn, especially if it's people that are active on there, if they're in HR, if they're in sales, if they're tech people looking to gain knowledge, they want good stuff to engage on. And if they know you, like that's like the situation like we just said at the happy hour. They know someone at the bar and they can walk up and be like, hey, Seth, how you doing, man? What are you guys talking about? And they'll want to
Yeah.
jump into the conversation. And then to pile on that, number one, you're providing value. You're showing them these are the new things we're working on. This is the knowledge I have. Other ways to showcase yourself and your company. But number two, when you do call them, if you're seeing them at the virtual bar every day, like they're going to be a lot more likely to pick up your call, return your call, or reach out. Like it brings the guard down, and it's going to keep them informed about whatever it is that you're doing, right? Like, I think
Yeah.
that can be extremely effective.
Yeah. I know you say it's 101, but I bet if we looked at people who are in charge of global accounts or especially more complex sales,
Yeah.
uh, the percentage of the people they should be connected with that they aren't is, I bet it's 5% are doing it right,
Yeah.
would be my guess. And I was recently doing this with a consulting client, walking their client services team through just super basics on LinkedIn. And that's what it was. It was like, get your profile so it looks like anyone cares, connect with everyone
Yeah.
in your accounts. And what if you took the top 5 people from your top accounts and like this group, they had like 15 accounts each. What if all you did was send them one article through LinkedIn every single month? It was just like
Yeah.
thinking of you, nothing else. Like, how do
Yep.
you think that would affect renewal rates? How do you
Yep.
think that would affect upselling? It was like,
Yep.
do that over, don't call them. If you give me the weapons, right, with existing account growth, don't call them, don't send emails, don't have marketing send emails, and you execute that. I would put that up against anything else that you could do with email and phone
Yep.
for starting new conversations, growing existing accounts, and just actually being a face that's like, oh, that is our account manager here. Like most people have no idea, even in accounts where they're selling millions of dollars every single year into these accounts. It's like, hit connect. Come on. It's
Yeah.
not it's not that tough.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's an interesting point too, because even talking about that's obviously a very effective way to use LinkedIn messaging. But you want to talk about stuff that actually gets open that people pay attention to. Like that is right there. Like how many calls do they probably get that go to voicemail that they're just like, whatever, because that's what everybody does. How many emails do they get that just get deleted? 'Cause it's like, whatever. You send them something on LinkedIn, and again, because it's more personalized, because your face is right there, because it is very obviously like it seems like a passive move from you, but it's obviously very intentional. Because it
Yeah.
seems that way, they don't feel pressure like, oh gosh, Seth wants to talk to me right now. I'm just so busy. Every other
Yep.
excuse that you have out there. It's a low pressure way to continually keep that conversation going and stay in front of them. And I think in general, LinkedIn, whether it's through a direct message or it's in their feed, it is a low pressure way for you to stay in front of your customers and let them consume things on their own time rather than,
Yeah.
trying to put something right in front of their face right now that they have to pay attention to.
Yep. I know it cracks me up, but like the marketing department telling the organization to, you know, like the post, reshare everything that we're doing. It's like,
Right.
it does not matter if you're not connected with the right people. I mean,
Yeah.
this is completely a waste of time unless you want their past coworkers to see it, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, it's fascinating. I love your perspective, kind of the way, and I don't know, the way that you think about the long term is, when people don't do that, I think what gets them in trouble on LinkedIn.